Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana. This is the card we're going to be making today, and this is one I'd done before. This spinner wreath card is, believe what she called it, was inspired by Jennifer McGuire. I set it up to cut it out on the Cricut, and I did a video of it back in April of this year. I will link that video below in the comments. It's mostly a tutorial because I do a lot of imported images, and I can't share a file with imported images in it. So I show you how to do it in the tutorial video, which again will be linked below. What I can share with you are some of these sentiments. Let me move everything around here and kind of zoom in. So I did create these currently in Designspace, and again, some of them are created with my own fonts or imported backgrounds. So I'll have to recreate them or something similar in my software that's not Designspace so that I can share them with you. But I will do that. So there will be a free file for you below, or not below, but the Facebook page where it will be free, where you can grab the free link, will be listed below, and it will just be different happy birthday sentiments, so with different fonts and different color variations. So that will be the freebie today. But I did want to show you a couple things about this because I messed up. Since I was redoing the file, I had a couple issues. One was that Designspace now automatically saves your work when you open a file, which is great unless you're just reusing an old file for the day and you maybe weren't planning on saving it, and maybe you deleted a bunch of stuff that was in there just to clean it out to make it easier for yourself, and now it saved that file and gotten rid of your old stuff. So not thrilled about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just need to do a little more digging into my saved stuff, but I couldn't find the original one, so I'm not thrilled about that. I mean, I'm glad that it saves because I do sometimes forget, but yeah. So anyway, it's not that big a deal, but it is something to keep in mind. So while I was reworking my file, I made a mistake. I should have taken the offset off of these balloons that I used, and I didn't. And so it cut that out. I don't know if you can see how it cut. Yeah, I think you can see. So I had to tape that back in. Yeah, that is packing tape. And that was after I figured out where it went, which doesn't sound that hard, but it took me a minute. And then I had to get out one of my itty bitty dies to make a hole. This isn't actually the one I even used. This is the one I used for these. So I had to get a die once I got it all taped back together and cut out my hole, and then I got the smaller die and cut out of the scraps some smaller holes that the balloons can spin around on. So yeah, I wanted to show you this because I messed up, and I want you to know that it's not the end of the world. When you mess up, you can fix it. Now this piece will go over the top. I'm debating about cutting another circle because I didn't use a heavyweight cardstock. It's like a 65 pound, and I forgot to cut another one to glue behind it, but I'm not sure I'm really going to need it. I mean, once I glue that down, I think it'll be fine. So anyway, I did kind of place my piece here roughly where I wanted it. Let's see, how did I do that? I kind of just something like that, and then I figured out where I want the lowest portion it will hang, because it's going to have some play in it. You see this gap here? It's going to have that much play in it. So it took me, a few seconds to figure that out. And then I played with all these different fonts. So initially I was going to do this one because this is for kind of my we consider them family. So what did I say? He is 7, I think. And he's got a birthday coming up next month. And so I was playing with that, and then I thought, well, that's a lot. By the time I put this on, that's a lot of color. There's really no contrast. other than the red background. So I went with this because I do know that he loves Spider-Man, which is why I chose the red background. He probably won't make that connection, but you know, he'll probably know he likes it. And then I wanted to try printing on my laser printer with black ink and then a different color, you know, print on it, and it actually worked really good. So I was happy about that. So I'm probably going to use that one. Now I did pull a what do they call them? It's like a background die or a press plate or something out of my stash that had a little kind of funky design on it. Press plate, did I say that? Anyway, I have broken my embossing machine. It only really works on one half of it, and I didn't take it out and flip it around and do the other half, so it's very faint on this side. But anyway, you can kind of see it, and it's mostly going to be covered up, so it'll be okay. I'm just going to put this on a standard card base, a standard white card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You could use any color. I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to then place this in the center with no glue, and I should have printed another one of those, not printed in color, but just cut that shape out again to make that a little sturdier. Then I'll glue that on top, so this will now spin, and then we'll have this down here, like so. So what I did for this center portion is, because you want this to spin freely, I've got several layers here. Again, it's a thin cardstock. I might have made 4. I can really only count 2, but I know there was at least 3. I'm going to say there's probably 4 of these little dots glued together, just in case you're curious. So let me start gluing some stuff together. Now I am thinking about adding a little candle to this cake, and maybe it'll be a 7 like in maybe gold glitter to kind of match the sentiment. I don't know yet, but let's go ahead and glue this to the card base. I'm going to get up here where you can see it's just glue. I like the Barely Arts glue, but you can use whatever you have, and I encourage you to use what you have. Now if you have a glue, because I have some over on my shelf, I haven't used them in years, they're a wetter glue, and you've got to be careful how much you use because they can warp your cardstock. Just keep that in mind, and when you're using them, don't use as much. But you can also use tape, double-sided tape, glue dots, you know, like the single flat glue dots, not anything that's raised or has dimension. Whatever you've got that you want to use, you can use. I say use your stash, especially now. Everything is so darn expensive. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. This just happened today. I ordered some, I don't know if you guys have ever tried them. They're made by Lifesavers. I'll try to stick a picture in here. It's not my picture, but I'll stick a picture in here. Lifesavers makes an orange mint Lifesaver that my husband and I both love. He's not a fan of mint, but he likes the orange mint. So that's what I get. So after dinner, you know, we have a little mint of whatever, especially since we had a lot of garlic last night in our dinner. Anyway, I ordered some more. We were almost out. I ordered them from Walmart. And Walmart now allows, and they have for a while, I don't even know how long, it's been a long time, I think, allows third-party people to ship through their website, ship and sell through their website. So I thought, because the price was double, that I was getting the bigger bag instead of the little 6.5 ounce bag. I thought I was getting the 13 ounce bag. Nope, 6.5 ounce bag for twice as much. So I got half as much for twice as much, and I'm not happy. And that's my fault. I should have paid attention, but you just, you know, you're in a hurry. It's the last thing you're adding to your list, and this has nothing to do with crafting, so I'm sorry if this is not what you want to hear, but it's a good lesson to you know, for everybody. I've learned something. I will be double checking and triple checking everything, and I usually do, so I'm a little surprised this got past me, but boy, am I not happy. So just keep that in mind if you're ordering from anybody, really, but somebody that sells from multiple sellers and locations. So Amazon, Walmart, there's probably others. just double and triple check your sizes, your weights, your prices, because we got scammed. So that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so we're going to now put this on. We're not going to glue it down. It's just going to sit right there. So we do want to glue our cake. And do I want to add another? I'm going to hold it right on that piece and see. I don't think I need to add anything to it. No, I'm just going to glue it right on here. So I'm going to kind of center everything. Let's do it this way. So what I did, this particular image, which is from Creative Fabrica, actually all of these images are, it was like a rainbow shape or an arc or a half circle of these different colored balloons. I took one, I duplicated it, I flipped it vertically and horizontally and just butted them together. So that'll hang right about there. That's the blue. So what I'm doing is I'm centering it based off of these blue ones there. It really should go like that. So that's where that's going to go. I'll hold that still. I think I moved it a little bit. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so we're going to add some glue. And we're going to kind of put this in the center. Okay, I'm going to hold it up and see how that looks to me. That actually looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to let that dry. I probably should quit touching it because I feel like I've moved it now. Alright, so let me grab my magnet. Sorry about that. Put that on there. I feel like I moved my camera. There we go. Alright, so I conferred with my husband because, you know, he was a boy once, and he loved Spider-Man, so I thought he would be the person to ask about this. Even though it's not a Spider-Man theme, it's kind of got their colors going on. So he thought this would look best, and actually so did I. So I could bump this up, give a little dimension to it. I think I will. Now I did glue a second layer behind that just to give it a little pop, but because it was such thin cardstock, I think I need something extra. So let's grab these. These are just some little dots I think I got at the dollar store. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we'll just use the dots. So I don't want that. Grab this. Now I don't know which dollar store, but whichever one had a craft section, they had some scrapbooking stuff, and so that's where I bought these. I wanted to try them, and they're okay. Now because this is still, even though I've got 2 layers here, it's still a little bit thinner than I typically like it, not quite as robust. So I'm going to put a lot of dots on here just to help support it. And then I will put some kind of message on the inside. I might have some pre-printed. I'll have to look. Usually if I do a new one or one that I don't have, I'll do a sheet of 4 of the same thing, unless there's something specifically that I know that I want different. That one kind of messed up on me a little bit. Here we go. Okay, I think that should do the trick. It's like 3, 6, that's 10. Alright, so let's just take all those off. That one just wants to pull up the whole thing because it got flipped over. Okay. Let's see if I can get it off of there. It flipped. the cover layer flipped over, and yeah, that's not going to work. Alright, let's just get a new one. And because it's not the anti-stick stuff, it's stuck to itself. Okay, let's try that again. So it's almost August. I'm getting this done just in time to get it in the mail. And I don't know about you guys and where everybody is. I know most of you are in the U.S., but I don't know where in the U.S. And I know it's hot here in north central Arkansas. I can only imagine what it is in other places where the heat is more of an issue. Okay, that's got to come this way. Back a little. Okay, I could probably live with that if it feels straightish. Okay, I'm committed. Let's do it. Alright, so this should be done. That is on there. Okay, it's hard to hold it in. And the balloons spin. So I'll probably get a die cut out and some glitter and maybe cut, since he's going to be 7, if I can find a die that's not too big. Let me put my pen in and I'll see if I can find a die. Okay, so I found some number dies. I don't actually have very many of those, and you can always cut this out in your Cricut, but I was pretty sure I had some. And I've already put my Cricut stuff away. I didn't want to drag it back out, so I know I don't want this bigger 7 because I just think it's, well, too big? I don't know. Yes, well, yeah, the reason I say that is because this is going to spin, and if it should happen to, although it shouldn't catch on that. Okay, let me do this. Let me give it a little pressure. Well, it should be okay, but I don't know if I want it that big. Put it back down on here. This one, did I say 7? Is he 7? I've already forgotten. I think it's 7. Okay, no, I think that's a better size. Yeah. I also have that one, but it's a little thinner, so I think I'm going to go with this. Now, I can do it in the glitter, or I can just do it in the metallic gold, which I could actually, this is a little scrap, see? Just a tiny little scrap, but I kept it because A, metallic cardstock's more expensive, and B, you just never know when you're going to need a little piece. So I could actually get 2 of them out of there. Okay, he was born in 19, so yeah, to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's 7. I feel like we've been gone for so long, he should be older. Okay, so I'm going to cut these out, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now there's hardly any of this little scrap left, and I am going to toss it. And I'm going to put my die back before I forget and it gets misplaced. I'm guessing that's not how that was on there. There, that fits a little better. Okay, so I'm going to glue these two together, and it's going to take it a little bit extra to hold because metallic paper doesn't dry as quickly, but that's okay. I could have cut it out of something else, but I had that there, and I just thought, why not? It's not like I need tiny little letters or numbers every day. Okay, just kind of making sure it stays centered. I'm going to set that down. I don't know if I got it. Felt like it was. And then I set it down and it didn't look like it was. Okay, let's grab the magnet. There we go. So I'll let that dry. I could have used glitter, but it's for a little boy. I don't know if he wants glitter. I don't know if his mama wants glitter all over the house. So, the glitter would have looked nice. Now I thought about putting a little flame on here, and I don't know if you can see, but the image I chose, it does have one candle in the center, but it doesn't really stand out. So my husband and I talked about it, and we thought about just making a candle, you know, but I like the idea of putting his age on there better. Of course, it doesn't want to release itself from the magnet. So I'm thinking that that'll mostly cover up that candle, and then you wouldn't even know it was there. Now it's not quite centered, but I think it's close enough. So I'm going to grab my tweezers and we'll glue this down. I want to be careful not to glue it to the back there, so hopefully I didn't get too much glue on there. Okay, hold it up so I can see how straight it is. Okay, now in the camera there it doesn't show up great because of the glare, but there you can see it. So I think that will work. And let's put some stuff away here. Put my pen back in my glue. So this is our spinning wreath card, which this isn't a wreath, but it kind of portrays a wreath in this video. And you can see it just spins. So hopefully they'll figure that out. Oops. There we go. Let's give it a little. I had it spinning really good, and now it's kind of getting clunky on me. But that's okay. It'll spin. So now I just need a sentiment on the inside, and then I've been using some handmade stickers from the Paper Studio. So I probably picked these up, yeah, at Hobby Lobby. They were probably on sale, or I just liked them, who knows. I don't go in there very often. And they're a little bit tricky to get off of here. They're really stuck. So I'm going to flip this over and see if I can get one of these off of here. Okay. I am going to look into making some of these myself, or having some made for me. But I bought like 3 packages of these. So, and there were 2 sheets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, 24. So it'll take me a while to use them all up. But it is a little tricky just to get under the edge. There we go. When you get it, but just that first piece, you know, getting it that first time is the trick. Alright, so I ran out of the ones that I make myself. I actually like these better. They're a little smaller. They don't have my name on them, but that's okay. So these were $2 for a pack of, what did I say, 24? And they probably were like 40% off when I bought them, so. But it's been a while. I think it said 2026 somewhere on the package. 2023. Oh, it's been a little longer than I thought, because this is 2026, dummy. Alright, so do I have an insert for that? Oh, I might. This might be the one I used last year. It's nice and colorful. And then there's that one. It's a little different, but kind of the same. Although it says happy birthday on the front already. But let me see what I got in here. Most of these are Christmas. May your birthday be filled with everything you enjoy most. Well, that's kind of nice. Simple, because he's only 7. use this one since there's so much color on the front already. I don't think I need to do that. All right, so this should already be cut to size. Cut it a little short, but that's okay. So I'm going to grab my zig marker. I haven't done one of these like this in a while, and I'm just going to run, let me move everything, give it a shake. I'm just going to run a strip of glue across the top here. Came out a little fast there. And what this will do is once it dries, it becomes repositionable. So they could take it out and reuse the card for another 7-year-old. I know, it's not likely. And I could glue it down entirely, but you know. So give that a second to dry. Because if it's still wet, it will be permanent. So, and this is what I use to make my mat sticky again if I'm not ready to give up on my mat yet. Although this last time I made it sticky again, it doesn't really seem to be working as well. So this might be the last time I do that with this mat. Okay, I think that's probably good. All right, so now we just kind of want to center that as good as possible. Could probably go up a little bit, but that's okay. Let's see. Did I do it too quickly? Yeah, maybe. It's not as temporary as it should be, but that's okay. All right, so David, I know you're not watching this, but if you are, which I know you're not, you've got a birthday card on the way, and there'll be a little something something in it from Aunt George and Uncle Don. So there you go. Now I just need to do an envelope. I always try to print something cute on the envelope when I do it. Although I don't really want people to know that it's a card that has potential gift in it, because sometimes they don't make it to their destination. And no shade to anyone, but you know, times are tough. People are scrambling, so maybe I won't print something fun on the outside of the card or the envelope this time. But anyway, I'm rambling. We can keep this one short. What do you think? Let me know. Do you like the striking contrast of the happy birthday wish? Does it make you think of Spider-Man? Do you like what I did with the 7, or should I have done something different? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I truly would. You guys are so quiet. And with that said, thank you guys. I really appreciate everybody who subscribes and watches. Some of you are my friends who I know personally, and many of you are not. In fact, the majority of you are not. So I appreciate you being here, and hopefully you find something of value. If that's the case, please don't forget to like the video. You can share the video. You please leave a comment. You will find the birthday images over on my Facebook page. Not the birthday images, but the happy birthday sentiments over on my Facebook page. And yeah, I think that's it. So guys, until next time, I hope you have a happy crafty day.